Welcome, Nicole. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, great. So why don't you just talk about your background, Nicole?
Well, I've been practicing as a registered massage therapist for 7 years now, and I have my own clinic that I do specialize with pregnant women. I attend births, and I work with babies and children.
Right on. What was it that really drew you to sort of specialize in working with babies and women in particular?
Well, through my experience working with pregnant women, I saw that as new mothers, they didn't have a lot of support, even fathers as well, postpartum, and that they didn't really feel a lot of confidence in handling their baby and proper ways to nurture them other than just feeding and changing their diaper. So I promote them to do infant massage with their young one to help with bonding, to give them tools to help with gas and colic and teething. It really helps with growth and development, and if they've had any deformities or any other problems at birth, then the massage actually will help to heal these things.
Excellent. So it's really good for dads as well to
totally, yeah,
have a better understanding. I know being a father myself, I had a little bit of an edge being a massage therapist, but I know lots of guys, sometimes can carry a baby like a football or something.
Yeah.
So it's good to have an idea of what's good pressure and what's not. And
exactly.
Okay, that's great. So what are some of the things that you're really treating? You mentioned a couple, sort of colic and gas. Is it more so that you're just really trying to get parents involved with touching their children? Like that's maybe more important than
Well, my
else?
main goal is to get the parents to doing massage and nurturing touch with their kids, mainly from infancy all the way until they're moving out of the house.
Right.
They think that once the baby's moving around too much and crawling and walking that they can't do massage, but what they need to know is that they just have to adapt their skills that they have and the way that they're applying the massage. I do have clients that have Down syndrome and cerebral palsy. Some babies that have been born, maybe their neck was pulled too much and they have pulled muscles or misalignments in their spine, and I teach the parents techniques that will actually help to heal these things with the babies.
So the idea is not so much that necessarily like an adult would come to see you for a treatment over and over again. It's more just really showing the parents like what they can do or what you found that might be a dysfunction, and you want the parents to really try and work it out.
Of course, infants and favorite clients to have, but mainly I do really want them doing it at home because I know that they're going to be getting the massage every day. And if they still want to bring their kids in because most people have extended benefits, then that's an added plus. That's
an added plus too.
Yeah.
Is there any time that's good to massage babies? Say like before a bath, after a bath, like before you want them to go to sleep, or?
It really has to work within the parent's schedule. I know a lot of dads come home from work and that's when they want to bond with the baby, so that gives the mom a break and he does the bath and then does the massage. But really it has to be when the child's in their quiet alert stage. So that could be really any time of day. But hey, if the baby gets massaged 3 times a day because everyone wants to try it out, then that's a good thing.
Right. So is it a good idea that if for parents who are thinking about taking this on, is it a good idea to sort of structure the whole thing so that the baby sort of gets used to, okay, this is a time, we're in this place, I see what's going on, oh, mom and dad are going to massage me, is that a good idea?
I really want it to be something that doesn't stress out the parents. I want it to be something that they can just incorporate whatever time of day that it fits their schedule and the child's. The only thing that I want them to keep consistent is asking for permission, and I'll show you that when we do our demonstration. There's something that I do with my hands that indicates to the child that, we're going to be doing the massage. You could even use the same bottle every time so the child recognizes that. Maybe even putting on a certain type of music so the child recognizes the music. But I really want it to be whatever time of day fits for them, and it just can be very flexible.
Okay. Is there anything that you would use, like normally I use a type of oil as my lotion. Do babies really need it? Is their skin soft enough, or is there something that
Lotions are great, but for massage I prefer oil, so you can definitely use an edible oil, like olive oil. If you wanted to buy a product, I really recommend Weleda. They're a great company that's been around forever, and it's better to use something that's more natural, and this company is that. They do have a slight calendula oil scent, which actually is very nice. If you use something that has a lot of scent to it, it can actually bother the child. So we'll use some of that product today during our demonstration.
Right, and I guess parents should be looking to make sure that anything, if they do choose to use something, it's not going to
something that's going to be safe.
Like
obviously, yeah, with rashes. Test out on one part of maybe the top of the hand or the foot with the oil that you're going to be using to make sure there's no reaction. but it generally has to be safe if they do ingest it, you know, by putting their hands in their mouth.
Right, of course, yeah. No, that's brilliant. That's really good to know. And also, parents can treat sort of, I mean, it's their baby, so there's nowhere that we really want to avoid. I mean, obviously, if the baby's bruised themselves, if they're at that stage and they're starting to move around and they've bruised it, is there anywhere that we should really stay away from when we're massaging a baby?
Yep, definitely the spine.
Okay.
So no direct pressure on the spine. Same with when we're doing massage therapy on adults. And also the xiphoid process, which is where the ribs meet up. Obviously, it's extra sensitive on babies. We have more fat and muscle above ours as adults. So, you know, obviously we're not going to be pushing on it as an adult, but it's not as sensitive.
Right.
So I definitely show those areas. And anytime I'm doing some techniques on the stomach, it always has to be in clockwise. And I'll show you that as well.
And clockwise, and that's, I guess, going to help digestion.
It's going to help with digestion, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that's wonderful. Well, that's great news for parents out there. There's a way that they can really bond with their baby in a nice, easy way. I'm looking forward to being at the table with you so that parents can actually see it.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of this show, is that folks watching can take the ideas that we present to them and incorporate them into their lives.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about all the questions I have now. I'm sure we'll be able to talk more once we're actually at the table.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a couple more hints and tips when I'm doing the massage with the child. Okay,
that's great. All right, well, coming up in shortly, just after we go to commercial, when we come back, we're going to have a little special guest here with us. And Nicole's going to be at the table with us, showing us the best way to massage your baby. All right, Nicole, you can take us through what you would typically do.
Okay. So first you want to connect to the baby. Yeah. So we're just going to tune in and just see how she's feeling. She's in a pretty good mood, which is great. The next thing we want to do is make sure she has, like, obviously a changed diaper. The atmosphere is warm, nice, big, soft surface. If it is in the winter, you might want to keep an extra blanket around just to cover her up if she's cold, but because it's summer, we're pretty good. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the massage oil, and we're going to put a little bit in our hands. And you always want to test out your massage oil first, so we're just going to test it on the top of her foot like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some hand signals like that. And I'm going to say, would you like to have a massage? And I'm also going to do this. This one's great because you get to hear and see, but it also warms up your hands because you don't want to touch the baby with cold hands.
That's very good.
And no reaction so far to the oil, so we should be good. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently just spread some of the oil along the baby. And these cues of twinkling your fingers the way I just did and asking if she wants a massage, these are going to bring out some recognition in her that, okay, it's massage time.
Okay.
You could play music that's the same every time.
You're going to sort of help establish a routine for her so
that
she starts to understand what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're always listening to her noises that she's making or watching her eyes. So the eye connection is great for bonding. So when a parent is performing this, or a grandparent, they're able to get a little bit of bonding in there. You want to make sure that your face is happy as well. So that they get to see that this is a fun, good thing.
And I guess this is good for everybody in the family to really, I mean, you don't want to leave just an older sibling doing it, but it's good for them to be involved as well.
Yeah, so sometimes what I do is I get the older sibling to apply a technique or two, and then, or they can have a massage first and then the baby gets a massage next.
Sure.
So she has the oil on her. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with her legs. Most babies love their legs. So the technique I'm going to use is a scooping technique. So we're just going to scoop all the way up her leg, and then on the inside as well.
And you're applying a little bit of pressure with your fingers on the underside as well, sort of like if you were using a tube of toothpaste, you're sort of
exactly.
both sides. Okay.
So you're going to see a little bit of pink, and that's okay, just the blood circulating to the area. Right? Yeah. And the next one I'm going to do is a corkscrew. So I'm actually going from the hip to the foot. So we're going to do it like this. Do you like this? Yeah. Sometimes if you like to sing to your baby, it's nice to include some of these songs in at this time.
Sure.
And pay attention to how they're reacting to each technique as well.
Right. Yes. You'll sort of get to know what signs mean there's too much pressure, maybe you're going too far. So you could do this on a bed, or is it preferable on the floor?
Better floor is good. Yeah, change table sometimes if they're really active, if they're an older baby, they're going to be
more dangerous, yes.
I take my hands off when I'm putting on the oil, right? So, so now we're going to do a technique on the foot. And we're gonna draw a nice big heart. We're gonna draw a nice big heart, and on the bottom of the foot as well. You can stimulate a lot of reflex points in the feet, up along the arch of the foot. And there's also a technique for relieving digestive issues too, that you can go up the side of the foot, over, and then across again and down. Just because sometimes direct work on the actual stomach can be too much.
Right.
So we're just gonna do a couple more things to her other leg. So I'm gonna just do a straight stroke all the way to the hip. Do you like this? So what this is doing is it's increasing circulation, which is great for growth and development.
Perfect.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna apply the technique coming towards her foot. This is more of a relaxing technique. It's a less stimulating. And generally babies love anything when you have a good broad contact with their body. So you don't want to go too specific, but you want to have a nice broad hand contact.
And so you don't really need to be necessarily treating anything in particular. Like you said, there's, you know, as long as you're working on the feet or, you know, working on the areas of the body, it doesn't necessarily have to have a specific direction of treatment, just that you're making the contact with the baby and
like
enjoying yourself.
You know what, there's no right way to massage. It's just good to know what different techniques do.
Right.
But I mean, as long as you're, you know, not hurting the baby and the baby's enjoying what you're doing, then I think that it's fine. So we're gonna draw a nice big heart. Yeah. Nice big heart on the chest. And then we can even do something where we're crossing like this. What? Do you like this? Do you like this?
And so for parents, it's I guess it's just sort of their choice whether or not the baby has a diaper on. I suppose if the baby does become relaxed and perhaps, you know, has to go to the bathroom or something like that, you might want to have something underneath them that could take that. If
I always suggest keeping the diaper on, even if it's off, at least it's like there.
Okay, yeah, I got
Just in case. Unless
even if it's just sitting there loose. Just
some people massage the baby in the bathtub, in the bath, so then obviously they're not going to have a diaper on. So I'm going to show you some techniques for the stomach. So you don't want to be too far away from the belly button, and this is the xiphoid process up here.
So you mentioned that during our interview.
Right where the ribs connect, we're going to avoid that area. So to be with the large intestine anyways, you want to thumb away all the way around the belly button. So what we're going to do is a technique where we're drawing a circle. Yeah, and we're going clockwise like I said. Okay, so nice circle. And then there's another technique that I can do here. It's called the sun moon. And we're literally just taking one hand off and the other one stays in contact. And so I'm working on the large intestine. And the large intestine is an upside down U. And the next one I'm going to do is the water wheel. Water wheel, water wheel. Yeah. And so what you're doing is you're helping to milk the gas out of the baby. You can use this on an older child as well who's constipated with actual...
just sort of drawing your hands down.
So we're just trying to pay attention to her body movements too, because we don't want them to be too rigid. We want them to be more flowing. Because we don't want her to get upset. No, we don't. So sometimes you have to take a break during your massage too, right?
For sure.
Can I do another one? Okay. So the next one is, which a lot of people know about, is the I love you technique. So we're going to draw an I, an upside down L, and then an upside down U. And say, I love you. Yeah. And then we're going to do a nice, long, soothing technique all the way through. Just because some of the work on the stomach can be a little specific.
Right.
Something else that everybody wants to know about is gas. So and one other thing that I do is I just bring the knees into the chest like this, and I just do a gentle rocking. Oh, did you hear that? She just farted. That was good. So we get a nice, it's gentle, it's not too specific. You can do this in the middle of the night if the baby wakes up. Okay. Another one that I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting a pressure in the circular motion like this. Yeah. Does this feel good?
She looks like she's having fun.
Yeah. Most babies love when you help them with gas. And then another great technique you can do too is the bicycle. So we're just going to gently pump the legs towards the abdomen. So if she pushes against me, which she's doing right now, I just kind of rock it out. You don't want to force the joints because obviously their joints are really fragile. So she's the boss. You're the boss today. Yes, you are. Yeah. So those are some really, really great techniques to help with gas. And let's see if we can get some into her arms. They're very similar.
Very similar sort of things you're doing.
But the thing is, with sometimes with babies, they want to keep their arms very close to their body. So they don't allow you to do too much. But let's see how much we get done. Yeah.
Does this feel good? Yeah.
All right, well, I'm hoping that this was very useful for you today. I'm so happy that Lauren came in and brought little Liv, and you had a chance to see Nicole do what she does. Clearly you can see that the baby loved it, and that this is something that you could easily incorporate into your life. It's very beneficial for you and for your children. So coming up after the break, I'm going to be taking you through some stretches for your wrists. I hope that you'll stay tuned and learn a little something you can do to help that area of your body. You've been watching Massage Matters on Community Connection here on Rogers TV. We'll be right back.